You know, when you come here as a tourist, one of the first thing you do is you go at the top, which is this one. So you go there and you say, okay, this is Dubai. But you go tomorrow, it's different picture because there's always something new being built. When I came to Dubai in 2015, going from the tourist side to the working side, I was trying to understand what's inside. So then I remember I connected with a lady from MR and she said, okay, we have this facade. I said, do you have any office in Burj? She said, yeah, we're like 15 of them. I said, what? Like, this is the highest tower. How come they are not sold?
Pierre,
Good to see you. Thank you for the invitation.
thank you for coming. I hope you like the studio.
It was quite interesting. As you
Yeah.
know, it's like you come into a small coffee shop, you feel like in Europe, you know, a small place, and then there's like this box inside for the podcast. So
It's
super nice.
unexpected, yeah.
Yeah. And I heard there's a quite an interesting story about this place, so even more interesting for me to be here.
Great. We're happy to have you here
Thank you.
and look forward to this conversation. So, you've been doing commercial real estate since 2015.
Correct. Yeah.
That's 10 years.
Yeah.
How's that like?
Time to celebrate the first decade in Dubai. When I came here, I didn't know how long I will stay here, as I think most of the people coming here. And it's been a long journey. It's more like a roller coaster type of ride. Go up, go down. For me, in terms of the knowledge and maybe the experience, but also the market prices and the changes in Dubai and the evolution of the city. So I'm quite thrilled to be a witness of the city growing up every day.
I'm sure you've seen plenty happen in 10 years, especially that 1 year in Dubai is like 10 years in so many other places.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that when you came here, you didn't know that you're going to spend this much time here. Why is that? What did you expect when you come here?
I think for people to understand, it was the visibility of Dubai in Europe. At that time, Dubai was pretty much an oasis in the desert. Everyone was talking about the vast Arabic world, but not really understanding where everything is and which country is what. And when I decided to move to Dubai, it was not the glamorous Dubai like now. It was most a place that people go for like a financial experience. They would have like a few years contract abroad, like an expat contract, and then come back without the idea of spending time there. It's just you financial interest to move. When I moved here, I decided to move for the experience. It's like a new country. Everything was fast forward. From what you look at the architecture, I was fascinated by the Burj Khalifa and all this. And when you land here, you understand that whatever they tell you outside, half of the story, because everything was so big and already so many people from diverse horizon living here. And I think this was the place that intrigued me at first, because in Europe we have this population that is maybe 95% local and a few foreigners here and there, but they look like you, so you don't know which one is a foreigner. When you come here, you of course see the locals. They are not a minority, but they are part of the place for most of the places you go. But as soon as you go outside of the big places, you see mostly foreigners. And that was interesting to see a country that works. Everyone lives together, but everyone is from different horizons. And I think that's the melting pot here is something that really attracted me.
I think that's what really makes Dubai what it is. And you can't really find this arrangement in any place in the world.
Yeah, and when you meet people, you always get surprised of where they are from. They all have different stories. You see someone, you cannot guess where he's from because maybe he lost his accent or he was born here, like for you. And if you're born here, nobody knows where you're from, right? So
Yeah.
you will just have to say it because nobody can guess.
Exactly.
And this is the part that you create relationship with people you never heard of the country before. So I'm from this country. You didn't even know where it was, or that you would meet someone from there. You know, it's like I was in Georgia 3 weeks ago, and I was trying to remember, did I meet anyone from Georgia in Dubai? It's like, you know, you have this country that you meet a lot of them, but you don't hear about the country. In some country, you hear about them, but you don't meet anyone from there.
But you see all of them here in
Yeah,
Dubai.
exactly. And then you come here, it's, oh yeah, this guy is from there, and you know, so this is the part. And then we all speak the same language. English is like connecting the people, which also helps.
Right.
Because every time you go somewhere, like the French people, if you go to France and you don't speak French, good luck to you. It's going to be very tough for you. But here, if you speak English, it's amazing. And old people, they speak English. Young people, they speak English. Foreigners, they speak English.
Do you need to be fluent in English to get by?
I think so. I think the whole system is based in English. Maybe if you speak Arabic, you can get away with it, but otherwise, everyone speaks English, so you cannot expect the people to speak something else. If you come here and you say, I speak, let's say, French, you say, okay, great, you have a second language, but you cannot use anything else than
You
English or
only
Arabic.
use it for someone who's coming from France
Yeah, it's
and
like
only
benefit.
speaks
Yeah.
French.
Or the people that they've been there, they knew few words and they, oh, bonjour. And, they try to, and
Yeah.
then after 3 words, you go back to English.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. But
That's me.
that's what's interesting here, that you don't know the story of the people unless you talk to them, which
Of
forces you to
course.
talk to them.
Yeah, 100%. And it's always interesting. You can always, everybody has a story of how they came here and why they came here.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, English is the main language here. Me as an Arab, I find myself talking in English more than Arabic with other Arabs.
Okay.
And I feel like you can't really conduct business unless it's all based in English somehow.
I think introduction could be in Arabic, like the formalities. But as soon as you take contract numbers, everything is in English. I don't speak Arabic, but every time I have Arabic conversation around me, the numbers they are in English, for most of them the big numbers. And some special words that are involved in our business, same, no translation in Arabic. So you can feel what they talk about because you know those few words from your business
Yeah.
and you hear them in their conversation.
And you already know the context
Yeah.
because you already been around other
Mm.
people doing business in general, so you don't need to understand it word for word.
Yeah. And then you reply and they're like, oh, this guy speaks Arabic. I need to be careful because you kind of understood what they talk about and then they speak English too. And this is also something nice here. If you don't speak Arabic, they will talk your language. It's not
So
going to be like, oh, sorry, you don't speak Arabic. I
so
don't
it
talk to you.
wasn't a limitation for you
No,
in 10 years and
no.
you still didn't learn the language?
The only limitation that you have is obviously in the business that we do. There are some times where the legal procedures come into perspective, being for, I don't know, eviction notice, for whatever procedure, and they're all is in Arabic.
Okay.
So this is the only limitation that you have. But now we have help Google Translate all this. You can take the picture. If you receive like an Arabic notice, you can see all of it translated instantly. So I think now there's no excuse for saying I don't speak Arabic, I don't work. So,
Yeah, of course. And
Yeah.
usually the legal stuff are handled by someone who's only doing legal stuff.
yeah, but it's good to know, because it's a system, so you need to know how it works.
Of course. And we said you've been doing 10 years of real estate. Was it all commercial?
Yeah, so actually it was 2 days of residential.
2 days.
Yeah.
How's that?
So when I came here, I found a job online. I applied, got the okay, come here and work. It's commission based, as you know, so there's no salary. So basically, if you had good profile, you can come. It was very different than now. I think
How different?
because now you have, I think the latest number around 30,000 official agents active in the market, probably 7,000 real estate companies, brokerage. At that time, maybe it was, I don't know the numbers, but maybe around 1,000 real estate company, agent maybe around 10 max. And company were not expanding because the market was in the pause time. It was the time just after Expo was announced. The everything was high price and then it started to cool down and there was no new development, nothing, only secondary market. Commercial was very quiet. I can see from the perspective of the competition at that time, it was almost no competition. You could go anywhere, get any product at any price you want because there was no client.
Like nobody was working on commercial.
No,
But
but
why
even no client. There was no lead, nothing.
clients were not?
No.
There was no companies looking for
The companies,
properties?
they were established. They didn't have this facility to open business here. You needed local sponsors. It was reducing the opportunities. People would say, "Ah, if I come here, I need a local sponsor. How is it going to work? Am I safe?" They say no.
So only after the government has eased the procedures and the laws, then people started to flow and come to set up business here.
So yeah, different flows, but I think they changed the regulation in lots of things. First, they make the mainland license easier to get without the local sponsors for certain business.
That's a game changer.
Yeah. Then they changed the golden visa rules. If you remember, the golden visa was more than, I think, 20, 50 million at the beginning. Like they were reducing, but this was something like privileged. You knew nobody with golden visa. Then you start to see them popping up, and then they start to reduce the ways, then it was fully paid, then it would be off plan, and then make it very easy for the people to see Dubai as a long-term plan, not this 2-year visa, 5 years, 10 years. Now they push everyone to do 10 years. This helped. Then they tried also to make it easier for the company to establish here via the free zone, etc. They developed different infrastructure to make them safer to come here. And also the fact that they are building school, hospitals, all of this, that if you come here, you can live here. Because most of the people were coming here for either financial reasons, because there's no need to not say this, but lots of people come here because either the country is difficult to reach financially, or because they need a place where they can travel all around. So Dubai was like a meeting point for the infrastructure wise. These people, when they come to open the company here, usually they were coming on their own, opening their company, getting bank account, getting visa, and that's it. The family lives somewhere else. What happens after is that these people, they saw these places. Okay, now they start to build new houses. I like it. I make money here. I don't pay tax. I want to re-inject in the country. So let's buy a high house. I can keep it, make it money, capital appreciation, resell it, rent it, etc. Real estate money, no tax. Then what they say, okay, I make money, but I want to live with my family. Then they start to bring the family in. And this is what we see now. The population goes up,
So it's
everything goes
something
up.
that kind of developed over time. That
Yeah. But it was a plan. This is what's amazing here. You feel like they do something and then straight away they get the people. It doesn't work like this. There's always step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then people arrive.
Okay.
You see, they build the road, they build the airport, all of this. Now you come, everything is ready. Most
Yeah.
of the country, what you do, you come and say, okay, go live there. Nothing is there. This is the example of what's happening in Ras Al Khaimah now. They inject a lot there, so they need to build the roads, build the new airports to have the time to incorporate all these new people that will come there. Because if they come and the infrastructure is not good, they will not stay, and they know this. Why they come to Dubai and they stay? Because the infrastructure is amazing. If it was not easy to live here, people will say, "Look, it's okay. You make tax-free money, but it's headache to live there. I don't want to stay."
Of course, people
And now
come
they
here
stay
for
here.
the
Yeah,
convenience.
yeah.
You know, a great example of this is Dubai Islands. So I recently went to have a look what's there, and I was honestly surprised with the infrastructure. I mean, the island's still kind of starting. There's not much development that already started. Some developers has announced their upcoming properties there, but I did not really imagine the how ready it is for people to come now.
Yeah. The beach is ready. You can go there. They have the Starbucks on the beach for the last, I think, 2 years. It's
There's
there.
already a public
Yeah.
beach. Mall is coming soon, and the road, the Infinity Bridge. I haven't seen anything that massive.
Because when they build that bridge, people are like, why they build this there? But they build this because then it goes to the bridge that goes to their island.
Yeah,
So
and it's
everything
now
is there.
ready.
Yeah. But I think what you can explain as well is that when they give those plots, instead of giving the plot and say, okay, try to find where it is, they build the roads. So you can go to the plot by the road. So when you
Right.
bring people and say, okay, you need to invest here, they can see that the government came, put the money for the infrastructure, and then they release the plot. You know, in many countries, you will build, you will have no water connection, no electricity connection, no roads. People are like, this is the dream, okay, but I don't feel it.
Yeah.
At least there you can see what you're going to get. You can walk to the beach, see how long it is to go to the beach.
Right.
Take your car, go to whatever they always say, 10 minutes from Burj Khalifa, go to Burj Khalifa by car, see it for yourself. And
So
then
when you come to, for example, you're an investor, you want to buy a plot and build something, you can, or even you're someone who's considering to buy a unit or an apartment in one of the towers. So I think it's made in a way that you can actually come, see how it really is to arrive in your car, and see what's in the area in terms of infrastructure, the beach, the roads, and all of it. So from A to Z, from the investor to the contractor to the people who will hand over the units and people who will own them, and then the people who will actually use them and rent them, all of them from start to finish have the same infrastructure ready and super convenient.
Yeah.
I don't think anywhere else in the world does that.
And I think the point, even more important than this, is the paperwork. Because you see, when you come to a new country, wherever you go, you come from, you don't know the paperwork. Like you buy a house in France, they will give you the full history of the whole house of that plot. And this is a book like this. Here, every property is one page. Simple as this. Title deed, occurred, one page. But what's important is that everything is safe. If you lose this paper, you don't lose the house. Nobody can come and say, hey, it's my house. Everything, they have everything on the blockchain technology, or everything is electronically certified. So that nothing can happen to your investment here. That's one point. The second point is obviously for the people that buy off plan, which is the majority of investors, new investors here. They buy something for the future and their money goes to safe account called the escrow account. So that's also important. In some countries, you don't know. You give money to the contractor and then it doesn't work. Then
So it's all regulated by the government.
And then the third part is obviously the relationship between the tenant and the landlord, which is registered in the HRE. Because, for example, in other countries, if you rent a private contract, so landlord tenant, you do a contract privately and it goes nowhere. It's not certified by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a case, every time you need to have someone who review the whole file.
Okay.
Here, everyone has the same file. You have
Just
the land
one
department
paper.
court, that's it. Who is
Generated.
the owner? Who is the tenant? How long is it? How much is it? Where is it? And that's it. And then from this, they can say, okay, you pay, you don't pay, you have issue. Okay, very fast. So this is also something that is quite safe for the investors to understand that the system is the same for whoever comes here and whoever buys or rent here.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no privilege. Oh, I'm from this country, I get better. I'm from this country, I get less.
It's all the same.
Everyone at the same place, which is nice here.
You know, I want to hear more from you since you're an expert in the market. I want to hear more from you about how does the real estate market fit in all of that. But before that, I really want to hear from you. What do you think is the difference now between working in commercial real estate and working residential? And what kind of challenges do you face in your work in general?
I think commercial was like a safeguarded market for a long time. Like nobody was touching commercial. I had so many of my friends, agents, they were saying, look, commercial I don't do, it's so difficult, I don't understand anything, just do it.
Do you think it's really that difficult?
I think it's not that difficult, it's just that you need to learn. Mm-hmm. You cannot improvise yourself, commercial agent, because there is so many things that a residential agent doesn't even know it exists.
Okay.
Just licensing processes, the different type of properties, the regulation, the municipalities, so many things that come into the play that residential you buy, you live in, finish.
So you need to be aware of all the processes that happen.
Not all of it, but obviously if you as a client, you pay an agent or realtor, consultant, whatever you call it, you expect him to know more than you. This is the basic. If the client knows more than the agent, then what's the point
That's
to pay
a problem,
the agent?
yeah.
The problem here is the real estate agent, most of them is just a tax gate.
Decoration.
Like they have the key, so you have to pay them to get in. They help you, they don't help you, it doesn't matter, you still have to pay them. What you want is someone that supports you, and in the commercial, the difference is the problem comes after signature, not before signature.
Okay.
You get more commission for most of the deals. You do the paperwork, the contract is more difficult, the terms are different, the length of the contract is different, but problems come after because you sometimes have fit out, licensing processes, operation hours, so many things that could come into the picture, especially for the retails. Offices and warehouse, it's more straightforward, but retail business is different based on where you are. Yeah.
How is it different?
Because you cannot operate the way you want, you cannot do the activity you want. Your landlord sometimes controlled what you do and how you do it and how much money you make from it. And at the end of the day, the retail, you're supposed to make money to pay the rent. If you don't make money, you cannot pay the rent.
Mm-hmm.
So you need an agent, as you said, that helps you to understand from this country what is good for you. Because we have a lot of people that come here and say, okay, I don't know, whatever business from Europe, I want to buy more.
Is the agent the first person that a client usually gets in touch with?
Yes and no. Most of the people, they come here and they want to open a business and they don't understand the licensing processes. So they expect the agent to guide them for this. This is the best because then in that case, you can understand what he wants and advise them on where to go. Some clients, unfortunately, they will go online, type, I don't know, open a bakery in Dubai, and they will have some company setup coming and say, okay, you need to do this, 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 this. And they don't explain anything about the client. They don't tell them about the real estate cost, what is the total operation. They open this license and then they go and say, oh, this rent is too expensive for me. I cannot afford it.
I had a case when I was serving a client who's looking for a retail space. So they've already had they knew what they want, and their expectation was similar to something that's in Europe. They've already come here by the time they met me. They've already opened their company. They already have a license, and they already have a bank account. Everything is set from the company setup, the company who did the business setup. But there's only one problem. The requirement that they're looking for is not matching with what's in the market in terms of space and price and all of that. And honestly, it feels sad sometimes. There are people who come here with real hopes and dreams, and sometimes just being advised in the wrong way can lead to having them fail or lose a lot of time and money.
Yeah, I've met a lot of people like this, and I think the most important part is these people, they come with savings. Here, you cannot go to the bank and say, hey, I've decided, give me money. They will say, okay, start the operation, make money, and then we can talk about financing you. So here, the people that operate these businesses, they come with their own money, which is supporting the country. And this is why I think it's important to explain to them how it works, because the system is in a way complicated, because you cannot rent a property unless you have a commercial license. But you cannot have a commercial license unless you have a rental contract. And this is the people don't understand how it works. And then we have the case as well that they open the commercial license and then they want to open the bank account. And the commercial license will be 1-2 days if you do the mainland. And then the bank account will be 6 months, depending on where the owner is from.
It takes a long time.
So this corporate account is usually what's holding up. Then they put a deposit for the space and say, okay, we want to take this space, but we need the bank account. And the owner is like, no, you need to give checks. And this is the place where you need patience and you need understanding and you need someone that knows this game, because most of the people don't understand that if you rent for 5 years, you need to give the post-dated checks for 5 years, which from where we are from, you pay monthly rent. Doesn't matter the price. In Europe, the rent is paid monthly for the retail spaces. So every month you have money, you pay the rent. Here, you need sometimes for the first year rent, the guy comes, he needs to pay one check in advance. So that's like 12 months worth of rent paid in one payment upfront. So that means you don't even know how much money you're going to make on those 12 months. You already need to spend the rent for it, which is something very difficult. And as you say, some people come here and they don't understand. Nobody is explaining. So I think there's a big work to do on explaining this to the people. It's not about being catchy. It's transparent. This is how it works. You can do it. Welcome to Dubai. You cannot do it. Make more money and then come to Dubai.
How do you think, or where do you think is the best place to share these information so that people can actually find them and benefit from them?
It's promotion time, but I think best is to do it on the social media, because now people rely on people. I think the most effective social media is the one that you talk yourself about what you think should be said. And if you manage to catch attention based on giving knowledge for free, it's not giving the full story, but giving a hint of the story, because each case is different. You cannot apply the same recipe for each case, but you need these people to understand that you know what you're talking about and they can see the difference between the 30,000 agent doing the same job. Maybe they will catch on the way you speak to them because they feel close to you, or because you speak their language, or because the way you explain is more transparent than some other people. Because technically everyone can get this knowledge. If you learn it, you can get it. The way you explain to the client is the most important. And I think if you do it on the social media and you get an audience that is responding to this and willing to educate itself, then your job is done and it's good.
Okay. As a commercial real estate agent, does it really work that put yourself out there and post content and gaining all that exposure? Does it really bring you clients?
It does. I mean, what works, what doesn't work, this is difficult to explain because it depends what you want to achieve. When I started this Better Call Pierre page, I was just doing it for myself. Truly, I just had so many things in my mind. And I was trying to find a way to share it so that one day, if I have a client that had the same problem, I could send the video to him instead of repeating myself.
Okay.
This was the idea to do it. Obviously, when you start to do this, you have people texting you, sending you a message. Can you explain this? Can you explain that? I face this issue. What do I do? And then you start trying to diverse the content. But the most important, I think, is to just follow what you want to share, because the people, they will resonate with you if you share something that, because you shared it, they have the same thoughts, like what's happening here, and then you go there and explain it, and then someone say, I wish I knew this. Because the people that are doing social media, I think in Dubai, it's a very much copy pasted industry. Yesterday, I was in Nakhil for the launch of the new project, residential on the Pam Jebel Ali. So it's a new apartment. You go there to the Nakhil Sales Center, you have 500 brokers, and it's like the same. They go to the thing, okay, you should buy here. This is the first project. Next one, you should buy here. And then
Fish market.
I go on Instagram, because now the Instagram is located. I go on Instagram and I see the feed. It's like all this building here.
You don't even need
And
to go to the
I'm not
event.
even buying it. I didn't put real estate, nothing. Why I'm seeing this?
Yeah.
And this is the problem here, is that try to be creative. I don't know, go somewhere else, explain some different things, because the client, they see the same thing and say, okay, if this agent are all selling the same thing, which one I choose?
Right.
This is your thing. And if you wanted to buy a property, you want to buy from someone that you learn from them. Not like, hey, I brought you to Nahil and I want my commission. It doesn't work like this.
Yeah, right. I think that's what most agents are pursuing, which is of course very wrong. Where do you see this going?
I think bless the new agents, but they also lost into the wild. They come here, they see all this $1 million story online. They don't really know what's the truth, what's not the truth. They go to any company. The company is saying, you need to go on social media. What they do, they go online, they see what people do, they do the same. Then the problem is the budget behind it. If you have no budget, then you do what you can. But I think the most important is consistency. Most of these people, they will do this 2 3 months. Say, okay, I quit this industry, it's too difficult. I go back to where I was before. But the one that stays here and continues and improve his content, improve his knowledge, keep on sharing more, this is the one that will work. This is 100% sure. The problem is, how long can you sustain? Not really without making money, but without having results. Because they all think that every single video should be viral. It doesn't matter who watches it. Because at the end, people, if they watch you, it's because they like the video.
Yeah. Frankly, when I watch your content, in the beginning, I started feeling like, wow, this guy shares plenty of useful information. And then after a while, I was like, still the same reaction. Wow, this guy shares plenty of useful information. But at the same time, I'm thinking, how much time does it take you to actually get something that good and that detailed? Mashallah, in each and every video. That's really something to be proud of. So, how can you keep it going in the same rhythm?
I think I always been having like a sponge brain for real estate. I've been taking data since 10 years, different things about different building, different areas. I saw the city expanding. And for me, it's more about, I've tried to find like a pattern of things. So when I go somewhere, I study the different plot, I study the different projects, and I try to share things, which, if you know where to find this information, it's quite fast to do it. So it's not really time confusing. Luckily, I think the way I speak is quite easy for me to do the video. I learned the way to do the video and the talking at the same time. And most of the time, I can do the video into 3 times and it
Is
finished.
it a skill that you learned?
I had it. I don't know. I just never experienced it.
Okay.
But this, because the phone changed. Before we were only doing pictures, then video came, and now I wish I knew that it would be like this now. And in 2015, I would do the same videos and add that content already, and not wait so many years to start it with. This is the only regret I would have, yeah. Because I've seen so many properties that they stay. I have them in my mind, but I don't have the proof.
It's better late than never.
Yeah, it's true. But same for me, this is like legacy. If one day I leave Dubai, I say, okay, this is my album of all the things I did, and this is nice souvenir.
Remarkable. So I'm sure you understand how the global market works in terms of real estate, especially that you have a European background. You weren't based in Dubai your whole life. So in that light, How can you tell me that your work is going on in real estate, and where do you see us going?
I think there is the the most important thing in Dubai is competition
Yeah.
because everyone is like having eyes on Dubai on what they do and they want to do something similar somewhere else.
Yeah.
So a few years ago it was Doha, now it's Saudi, and Dubai is also competing somehow with the big cities like Hong Kong, Singapore to attract the companies. Um, I think where it's going is it's about the will expand now. We've seen a lot of residential properties being built. The commercial market is catching up, so we can see lots of new launches in the commercial industry. I think there were a few malls as well that were put on hold before the COVID that will probably come to the picture. The city is expanding. The new airport will bring new opportunities as well. So I think for us, there is a quite good future coming. Globally, same. I a few times to the US recently. And when you were going to the US and say, I live in Dubai, they have no clue where it is. You know, it's somewhere in the Middle East. And now that this place is known, people travel here, maybe it's easier, or they feel that because some of their friends went there, they go there. It's a that starts to be known worldwide. We have influx of population coming here from different countries as well. When I fly from France, usually we have connection flight coming from South America or Africa, going to Dubai via Paris, and you have different nationalities with you in the plane that were never there before going to Dubai. And you
Mm.
always have these people that are in the plane that they are so excited and say, "Okay, I go to Dubai for the first time."
So their
And
destination is
so it's
Dubai.
like a new place to go, you know. And I think you have lots of new people that are coming here, are being surprised as we were when we came here the first time, and maybe thinking to move here for work or for other purposes, maybe like a family gathering, or you know, and they all come here for different reasons,
Mhm.
and they see this place as a this is nice. You come here, they all say it's safe, you can do everything, you can get deliveries all the time, so they experience things that are not even something that you could question having in your country. No way. So
It's like a
this,
dream life.
yeah. So they experience something they would never have anywhere. So obviously, when you come as a tourist and if you come as a resident, it's different story because as a tourist you're all excited, and when you're resident, you start to have to do some paperwork and things like this, which is sometimes a bit slow, but this is the way forward. You learn how to do.
Yeah. In the same light, like, what's your observation on the clients? I'm sure the client you served in 2015 is not the same as the client that you're serving in 2025. So, how did that change?
On the perspective of the finances, I think the difference is in 2015, the market was a black box. There was no data available. You could check from online what's available. Transaction, they were not officially recorded in a way that you could easily check them like now, like on the Property Monitor, Radian, or DXB Interact that anybody can go.
Mm.
So it made it more transparent for the agency at first and the agents. And now what happens is the client, they have access to the same data. If you go on the land department, you can see all the figures. So back to your question, the difference is that the clients are educating themselves. Before they were say, I come to Dubai, I don't know what to buy. This is how you end up people buying properties in the mall. They go to the supermarket, they go out with a property.
Mhm.
This only happens in Dubai.
But do you think that the amount of knowledge and information that's out there online and provided by government entities or even by regular people, with all of that, do you see clients still needing a property consultant?
It depends on the client. Obviously, where the client is expecting an agent is to help them on choosing. You can have as much data as you want. Overthinking is the enemy of doing
Mhm.
because you're like, every day is new problem, new project. Maybe next day is better project. Why should I buy this one, not the next one? So the agent obviously needs to be, I think, willing to help the client and not himself. What I see in the market is some developers having given you very, very good commission, double, triple than some other developer. The agent naturally will try to push for the one where he makes the most money, which is sometimes what the client, he doesn't want this. So it's all this line on, are you advising the client or are you there to make money? And this is why I think some agents will disappear from the market because this one is opportunities market. There's lots of things to do. There is lots of opportunities. They come to the market. We've seen this before. We've seen it again. Once the market cools down, this agent will go back to their work and then come back later. This is what we see in Dubai
Mhm.
because the relationship that you create with the people It's not that you sell them one apartment, make a lot of money, and then they never call you again. What you want is you sell them something. When that thing comes to end over, either you resell it to someone else and make a new client, or you rent it to someone. So you make
Okay.
double. Most of the agents, they're like, okay, I make one single shot, and then the client doesn't like me because I didn't listen to him or I didn't service him
So
the
it's
right way.
more of developing a relationship with the
It's
client.
human transaction at the end.
Mhm.
You advise someone to buy something. You advise him badly, he will never call you again.
All right. And I can see now there are many projects that are coming up in Abu Dhabi, in Ras Al Khaimah. And of course, there are many things that are happening in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, in Oman. So I feel like we're now in Dubai, where the whole real estate game has been playing for a long time. And at the same time, now we can see plenty of other countries or cities that are doing something that's kind of similar, which is selling real estate internationally. So, do you think that the agents in Dubai will be able to work on these projects that are outside of Dubai, or are we gonna witness completely new markets emerging?
I think that's a very interesting question because what you see these days is lots of companies that are developing in Dubai are acquiring lands outside. We see it in Oman, we see it in Georgia, we see it in Saudi, Qatar not much, but some other countries in Europe as well, Serbia and etc. What they try to do with the agents in Dubai is they have audience. So these people are like marketers. They want them to and this country as an opportunity for people to make money. Because if you buy in Dubai from a developer from Dubai, if that developer goes somewhere else, you might also go with them because they made you money.
They
here.
made you money, yeah.
But if no one is going there, because at the end, real estate is a very local knowledge, you cannot sell somewhere without going there, doing viewing, explaining the city. So they rely on the agent to go to these countries, show what it is, explain I've been there, it was safe, the project is here, it looks good, the quality will be the same that you had in Dubai, then it will work. How they're gonna sell it, it doesn't really matter because most of the developer, what they do, they rely agents on the agents to do the marketing for them. They go broadcast everything everywhere. And then once there is a click, like a lead, say, hey, Pierre, I want to buy this. What you do? You don't sell. This is not your product. You take the agent to the developer office. Okay, this is my client. He wants to buy this property here. They do the sales pitch, they do all of this, but the client is already convinced because his advisor convinced him already.
Before coming.
And I was invited by a company called Mira Development. They are very strong here. They have a few projects in here in Dubai, in Ras Al Khaimah, and they acquired a huge land in Georgia. And they invited, I think we were more than 300 brokers from Dubai, all 3 flights from Dubai there, 2 hotels, like
For
a
free.
huge conference. Yeah, it's good. As a way not to sell the product. They brought us to the land, explained us the land, explained us and say, okay, we're gonna sell this later. But they want it because they know that these people, when they go somewhere, they put online, they say to their clients, so these days I'm not here, I'm in Georgia, blah blah. Then you market the company, you market the country,
It's like
and
you're
you market
spreading
the
awareness.
opportunity for the people to invest somewhere else. So this is how they think now. Agents are just a vehicle for people to see new opportunities. Because
So
you
they
can send a
drive demand.
PDF to someone saying, go invest in Georgia, for example. How are you going to know how it looks like? If no one goes there, say, I spent 3 days there, I went to eat there, I went to have a party there, whatever, I experienced the airport, I got the visa, blah, blah. Then you're like, okay, so I went there. So I know it's true, it exists, you know.
It's possible for
Yeah.
me to go as well.
Because you don't buy on PDF anymore. You have
Mm.
so much information online that you need to see someone who tells you, I've been there, trust me, it's good.
Okay.
I think that's the way forward.
Okay.
Rely on people
Interesting.
to sell. It doesn't work like this anymore. You can do AI, things like this, but still people believe
But you still need a
need to
person
go
to
there. Yeah.
consult and kind of think out with and
Yeah.
make a decision.
And take the responsibility to tell you, I believe in it, you should do it.
Okay. Aside from working in commercial real estate, how does your life look like in Dubai?
So what do? I obviously learn a lot outside. So for me, it's like everything real estate. You drive on the road, you see new things, you're interesting about lots of things.
It's in your
Yeah,
it's in
it's
your
the
blood
blood,
now.
yeah. I like to go to the malls as well to see the new concept, to see the new things coming to the country. We have the chance to witness lots of different companies from all over the world trying to come here. Lots of concepts as well are coming here as the first thing here. I love cars, and I love to play golf as well, which I
Nice.
think is also something that is very interesting recently because all the golf courses increased their membership by a lot of money.
Wow.
And the golf courses were based on the 50-50 model of you have members and visitors. And now they try to refocus only on the members and the number of visitors because they have too many people that want to play golf.
Mm.
And the members are like, hey, I pay so much money, I want to play.
So golf is a popular sport in Dubai?
Yeah. Surprisingly, even in the summer when it's 55 degrees, you'll have guys like me playing golf.
Wow.
So yeah, it's
Where's your favorite golf spot?
Abu Dhabi. Yeah.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
You drive all the way to Abu Dhabi to play golf.
The further you can drive from here is you can go to Al Dhafra, which is where the nuclear plant is. They actually developed nine holes golf course just for the people working there.
Wow, really?
It's 3 hours, 45 minutes from here, which I think nobody went. So I went there.
Nice.
But you have places, golf was always there. You have Island Golf from the further away. You have two in Ras Al Khaimah. You have one in Sharjah, one in Ajman, a couple of in Dubai, same in Abu Dhabi. So there are lots of golf courses here. And usually they give you like a green spot within the city because everything is being built around, but you still have these green patches here there for the golf course.
That's really nice. And your connection with home?
So you mean with France or like it's I think now it's quite easier to here. I think they made it easy on both sides. We have the electronic passports. The border is very fast, and it's only 6 hours away. So
so it's easy to go.
It's easy to go
and come back.
Yeah.
Do you go often?
A bit less now because people come here more. Before,
Okay.
they come to Dubai, so okay, I've been here, I don't want to come. But now there's so many things happening here.
Before you were
Concerts and events, and they like to come here for that.
Before, by being here, you're missing out on things that happen there, but now it's the opposite.
It's compromise and sacrifice. You live abroad, your family is somewhere else, but at the end of the day, this is the choice you make, so you live with it. Yeah.
And does the family visit?
Yeah, a lot.
That's great.
So
you can call this place home.
Yeah, it's it's home. 10 years ago I didn't know, and in 10 years I don't know, but for the moment it's still home. Yeah,
100%.
I can ask you like the last question.
Yeah, you can ask me why.
Okay. So I think my last question, which is a question to you, the first one, is obviously we connected on Instagram. You invited me to this lovely podcast session. And I would like to know. Yeah, thank you. I would like to know how you choose the people because it's interesting for me to know because you have so many accounts online, and I know you like my content, but
100%.
How do you choose the people?
So for Green Talks, we focus on what does it take to build a life in Dubai, and that's somehow portrayed or displayed through the people who are having the life experience in Dubai. And I can tell you that each and every person here has a unique story of why they're here, why they do what they do. And there are those people who serve others without expecting anything in return, generally. By looking at your content, I can see that you are, I can consider you a local guide because you post plenty of content about the areas, their use, and sometimes you explain very detailed things about buildings and the structures that we see in our day-to-day life, but we don't really pause to look and research and try to understand how they work or why they exist or why they work in at all. So you're someone who has that local guide angle, and it's really interesting to hear your side of things, how you go about your life and what made you reach to this point where we can see you here on the and really benefit from this provide to the city.
Thank you, and I appreciate the to show a bit more about me because same you never know who's behind the video. So now,
of course, yeah, I'm really happy that you came here. We really appreciate it, and I hope you liked the studio
yeah,
as well.
very much, and looking for the next episodes.
What do you think of matcha?
This is first time. It's quite fresh. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's your first time having matcha?
Yeah. First time I drink something green. That green actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you expect it to be?
I I didn't expect anything, as you said. Like some people, they do things without expectation, but it's a nice
Do you
surprise.
like it?
Yeah.
Great.
Is it the only place I can find it in Dubai?
No,
That
you can
good?
have plenty, but
Yeah,
not as
the
good
best one is
as
here.
here. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks
Yeah.
to do this.
Cool.
I have give me the bag. I have something for you.
Oh,
So I've done this.
it was a really nice conversation, by the way.
So this is a
Wow.
book that I've done about my favorite tower.
Nice. See, that's what you do. You highlight places.
Yeah.
I really love this. Oh, man, I really
So you cannot find it in any bookstore. It's only coming for
Really?
special people.
Wow.
So this is the way I explain to the people
I really
the
appreciate
offices in
it,
the
man.
tower. And
It's really great. You worked in Burj Khalifa?
I still work from there. I have lots of people that are having offices, and this is what I focus on. Like these my best properties.
So you sell or rent the offices?
The offices, yeah.
Nice.
Which are the highest? It's a good
Are
place.
we still recording?
Yes. Yeah. Good.
Okay. So
we have your original smile.
you need to tell me about what you do in Burj Khalifa.
So when you come here as a tourist, one of the first thing you do is you go at the top, yeah, which is here, this one.
Yeah.
So you go there and you say, okay, this is Dubai. But you go tomorrow, it's different picture because there's always something new being built. And I think for me, it's the best observation point from this. And when I came to Dubai in 2015, going from the site to the working site, I was trying to understand what's inside. And I've done, I think, one of my best video online. It has more than 2 million views now. Was just going to the Dubai Mall and showing what's inside Burj, which most people say, hey, I live here like 500 years. I never knew about anything about this tower, you know?
Yeah.
So they're like, this is easy knowledge for them, but they
Right.
don't know. As you said, they don't take the time. So then I remember I connected with a lady from MR and she said, okay, we have this for sale. I said, do you have any? So yeah, we're like 15 of them. I said, what? Like this is the highest tower. How come they are not sold? So I started to market this, and it was the time where you had a lot of properties online, and a lot of them are not online because people don't have agents. They don't know who to talk to, or the agent disappeared, or they just fed up with the property, fed up with having no clients. And then I got pretty much all of them.
Okay.
Then you start to talk about different people.
So you kind of own
Yeah.
these offices, and
Yeah.
it's your territory.
So you kind of start talking to these people, and what's interesting is obviously this does not look your average property. Whoever buys this property, there is this behind.
Nice.
Same as behind every individual, there is a story. So I learned all this about who is buying there, which, how much, when, what was the circumstances, what they expected from it. And then you start to click with all these people, and then you start working with them. And it's more like on a personal level because, they have so much money that they want to work with someone that they relate to, like they can speak with, they can ask questions, not someone that is just there like a transactional business.
100%.
And I've met so many nice people because of this. So this is my way of so all the people I've met, they got this book.
It's really interesting.
And just explaining how it works. And
I understand these are offices, but what's this?
This is the lobby for the office. So you have one for here. This one is for the residents, and there's a third one for Armani.
Nice.
So this is how it works. And if you want to understand, I think I have one picture here because I have 3 books. This is the commercial one, but I have one for the residences and one for the Armani as well. I have one picture that should be here. So on this picture, you have the 3 colors. So Armani is black, the residence is green, and the corporate offices are red.
Nice. I heard it from the source directly.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's just something easy, and I think people something physical nowadays.
Yeah.
So.
Of course. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it, and really glad to have you here. It was such a nice conversation.
Yeah. Again, thank you for the invitation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you
very much.